There's no religion higher than the truth. Hey everybody, it's Meech Dean. How can you truly respect somebody that do things for the money, that does things for the cash? How can you really respect them? They can be bought with money and cash. They do not control or have power over the money or the cash. You know, it is still give Caesar what is Caesar's. It's still that. Yeah. You don't control the money. You have no power over the money. So give the money back to the person who really has the power over it. You know, who prints the currency? What's the saying? Give me control over a nation's currency and I care not who makes its laws. That's the only way you become above the law because everybody do things for what? The money, the cash. Everyone has a price. And that's the problem. Everyone has a price. You got to free up the people before we can actually start doing for ourselves, actually start attacking the problems that we face as a people. Because people want to get involved. People want to be able to do things on a positive end. But their needs need to be met first, right? Everybody have needs. The basic necessities you need to live your life. But we have the power and the capacity to make it stress-free for everybody. But instead, we got people that's stressing over the basic necessities, just the basic things you need to live your life. People need money like they need clean air and water to live a decent life. Oh, yeah. And there you go chasing the money. As I say, there's people who hustle to get it, and there's people who hustle to defeat it. And I'm one of those that hustle to defeat it. You may be one of those that hustle to get it. But if I'm hustling to defeat it, I'm going to defeat you too. Because you're nobody to respect if you can be bought. If I can write you $50 million to do whatever, or anybody can give you $50 million to do whatever and you do it and you'll take it. Show you how weak you are. You could be bought with woven paper. That's all it is. It's just backed by a law, just like slavery. Slavery, right? We supposed to not the abolishment of slavery, right? We don't have slavery in this country, right? It's only backed by a law. It's only a law that's stopping that. Who's who to say the president can't get on the national television and say, unfortunately, my fellow Americans, African Americans, thank you for your patronage over the years, but we're going to have to reinstate slavery in this country. Unfortunately, we thought the technology would take us into another stratosphere, another level, a new world order. A big idea, as George Bush Sr. once said, but unfortunately, it hasn't. So I'm I'm sadly to say that we're gonna have to reinstate slavery in America. I'm sorry for my fellow African Americans, but we have to do what's best for America. And God bless. God bless America. That's all it really takes, right? And then slavery's back in this country. They didn't stop it because it was morally wrong. People don't have principles and morals and values. That's out the fucking window when the money comes. You understand? And that's the problem that we have right now is that people have basic needs that need to be met before they can get involved with trying to attack and combat the issues that face their people, that face their community, that face their country. Um, that's why it's so vital. It's so vital to put the people first, to give the money back and not work so hard for the money. Because who to say 2 plus 2 is 4, the sky is blue. I mean, you can create your own economy, you can create your own culture, your own nation, your own people, and have a deeper understanding of what y'all need to know and how y'all need to be able to attack the problems that you face. You know, I mean, how the Chinese got their own language, and then you got Europeans got their own language, and Middle Eastern, Arabs have their own language. You got some African, you know, uh, it's kind of crazy. Like Africa's divided in so many ways. Like Portuguese own some land there. You got some Africans that speak Portugal. You got some Africans that speak European. You got some Africans that speak Arabic. Chinese are getting in there trying to own some land, and if not already owning land there. And there'll just be a minute before you hear Africans speaking Chinese. You know what I'm saying? So you got Africans who still have their own dialect and their own culture, and unfortunately, over there, and it's not really being big. They're not really putting it out there as much, but it was during Obama's tenure of being president that they was killing the black Africans over there, the ones who stayed true to their culture and didn't go to, wasn't speaking Arabic, wasn't speaking Portugal, European, and nothing like that. They had their own, living in their Ashanti villages and things, and doing things, going to their witch doctors and things in that nature. They're getting rid of them. They're killing them. I'm talking about the Africans that speak Arabic are killing them. That whole Gaddafi thing, is deeper than what we see or what they tell us. They was killing black Africans. Yeah. Yeah. That didn't that wasn't Islam or that wasn't Christian. They were just their own. They had their own religion, their own, you know. Then they was killing black Africans that were Christian, that speak English, and that were Arabic and Muslim and all that stuff. So it's out of hand in Africa. But here in America, you got the police. It's crazy how they do the reduction of the population. Here you got the police killing African Americans, right? And then they put it on TV for you to see, so that knowing that it's going to agitate the people and that people going to react. You put it on the TV, African Americans seeing it, they're gonna feel some type of way. Some are real men, you know, that have probably even fought in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they come back and they see these things, like, hold on, the police are killing people that look like me, people, African Americans, and they putting this on TV and nothing's happening. We don't have a country to call the president up, say, Mr. President, if I see another fiasco like this, you're killing African Americans, we're going to take it as an act of war. And we're going to go to war with you. Economically, politically, physically. Go to war with you. And there will be casualties on your side. And you will lose a lot of money as well. Is that what you want, Mr. President? You know what I'm saying? They know you don't see police killing Russian Americans. You don't see them killing Chinese Americans. No, just African Americans. And they just posting and putting it out there because there's no one there to really fight for us. Because a lot of African American leaders are bought with the money. Just like the civil rights leaders in the 1960s. It was in a newspaper, and Malcolm X was the one who talked about it and brought it to my attention even. Um, and it was in the New York Times in like 1963, I believe. The civil rights leaders they was arguing about how the money was going to be allocated and distributed between them, the civil rights leaders, the money that the government was going to give them, how it was going to be distributed, and where it's going to come from, and how it was going to be distributed. They was arguing about that. They couldn't see eye to eye about the money. And it was John F. Kennedy and his brother that said they believe they should give the modern Negro what he wants, or there'll be a more aggressive Negro like Malcolm X or the Black Panthers of the 1960s that will come about. So might as well give Martin Luther King what he wants, and the civil rights leaders give them what they want. Let them be a guest in our house rather than having to compete with these people. It's just this basic strategy of war. It's a basic strategy. You know what I'm saying? So here we open our doors to you, become friends, right? On your oppressor's turn, on the people don't even see you as equal to them anyway. You know, it's like Chinese coming to America and then saying, okay, yeah, we open our doors to you. We open up your door. We open our doors up to you. We make you a guest in our house. We integrate under our terms. Under our terms is what they're saying. But they're not saying that. They're just saying we'll integrate. We open our doors up to you. We give you our resources because we're so much of a better nation than you. We're so better, but we have more unity than you do in your own country. So we open up our doors to you. Yes. You see the strategy there? Yeah. And people talking about reparations. Oh, you know, I've heard some crazy. It's it's weird, man. Because you got it's weird because you got people out there who feel like blacks are getting reparations through the welfare system, you know, and but it was Hillary Clinton's husband, Bill Clinton, that made it so you have to work in order to get some of this, most of the supposed reparations. You know what I'm saying? The welfare. You actually got to have a job. You know that helps McDonald's out, Burger King, all these minimum wage jobs that don't want to pay you shit. That's what it does, and they make a killing. How many McDonald's are there in America? How many Walmarts are there in America? You know what I'm saying? And how much money and revenue do they bring in? They know better. They know better than the plantations for real. Back in the 1800s, they know better. They should be burnt to the ground too. You know, they should. How they gonna pay you minimum wage and then tell you to get on the welfare and stuff and oh get the government assistance and all that stuff and then expect you to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps? You got people out there, man, you fucking Black Lives Matter, pull yourselves up by your own bootstraps. How the hell you supposed to do that with minimum wage, brother? My fellow Americans? How you supposed to do that when you gotta have a job? How's that reparations when I gotta have a job? Hmm? My ancestors were whipped, brought this country a lot of money, in which this country, in which this country had quadrupled, reinvested that money 1,000 times over, and still living off of that money. That money, which was supposed to be used for us African Americans to lift ourselves up by our own bootstraps, but instead we was forced to just give it to this country, give it to America, for America to lift itself up. You understand what I'm saying? For America to lift itself up by its own bootstraps. The truth need to be told. And it's not being told. So that's why you got a lot of ignorant people out there that don't understand nothing. Black Lives Matter don't understand. You know, rappers, entertainers, celebrities, athletes. How LeBron James not going to speak about nothing with the Tamir Rice? He said, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. Go on and win a championship. He don't understand the influence and power he has. Ain't nothing bigger than you, LeBron. You could say, do it. And people will jump. You know, you got that power, especially now. But they want to be hidden behind the scenes and give their money to certain things. No. No. Put where you put your money behind the scenes and all that, Jay-Z, LeBron James, speak about it. Uplift the people. Let them know. Hey, I'm putting my money in this and that. You know, what's it, Jim Brown? You know what I'm saying? Like be about it. Don't be tiptoeing around over here, putting your money here, these organizations here a little bit. Yeah, I like this stuff. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then talk about some other shit to turn your people away from true progress. You know what I'm saying? Being a boss is marketable. So a lot of the people that black folks look up to, um, you know, a lot of people that Americans look up to, period. White folks, it don't matter. You know, the bosses. A lot of them are kind of created to to be put out in the forefront, but it's someone who's behind them who don't want the star status, the fame, and all that. They control them. You don't know who really control them. Just like a lot of people don't know who really prints the money. You know, Federal Reserve, right? The Federal Reserve. Okay, so now you got to tie the links with all that. Rothschilds, the United Nations, the Rockefellers, World Bank, International Monetary Fund. I mean, it's deep. So a lot of people thinking they can run away and go overseas and all this stuff and thinking that they know where you at. And it's gonna be worse when they really put the iron fist down, and you're gonna realize they found me. There's a lot of people that they leave this country thinking that they're never gonna be found or something like that. Hopefully they die before it happens, but if not, then you know you don't control the money. Is what I'm saying. You could be $50 million, get $50 million a year, be $500 million in debt because you feel you deserve that nice house. You feel like you deserve a good vacation. Uh, you know, that nice car. You got doctors, people that went to school for 10 years, 8 years, coming out and still don't know how to manage their money really well. You know, they don't know they supposed to give to Caesar what's Caesar's and build their people up. They still don't understand that. That's why it's so important to create the programs, the platforms, the organizations, and companies that will not only combat and attack the problems we face as a people, but that will also provide the basic necessities we need. Because people have basic needs that need to be met first before we even start to create and build wealth, before we even start to create and build a profit accumulating system in our own interests. We got to provide those basic needs to the people first. You see, we are a people who have very little trust when it comes to each other. So we need to build up that trust by creating those programs, those platforms, organizations, and companies that will not only attack the problems we are facing as a people, but will also provide the basic necessities we need. You see? Because by creating programs, organizations, and companies, we can reduce the price of European clothes. We don't have to pay full price for handbags, shoes, clothes, and accessories made in Europe. That's how European countries, a lot of them are able to take damn near half a year off of vacation, get two-hour lunch breaks, go to school only 4 or 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Free college tuition. That's how they able to have a more humane society because we pay high prices. We pay the high price for them to do those things. You see what I'm saying? And we can create our own program. We don't have to necessarily take away their humane society. If it's humane for them and it's 2-hour lunch break, that's justice, right? That's great. Who wouldn't want a 2-hour lunch break? You can actually sit down and eat your food and conversate and get your mind right to get back in there and go back to work. You know, relax your body for a minute, relax your mind and your body, your soul for a minute. Who wouldn't want 4 months, damn near half a year vacation? You know, who wouldn't want to go to school half the time rather than full time? Who wouldn't want free tuition? You know what I'm saying? That's humane. That's getting closer to a more humane society, of course. But it got, you know, the price got to be paid on somebody. Somebody got to pay the price. You know what I'm saying? So for in that case, it's Americans. We paying that price. The Chinese are not gonna pay that price. That's why they make their own. You know, they're like $2,000 for handbag for shoe. You want us to pay $5,000 for your European shoe? You out your rabbit, that's mine. You out your rabbit, that's mine. That's what them Chinese say. We make our own. What's that LV on that back? That's an LV? Hell, we make our own LV. You be like, wait a minute, there's only 35 LVs on this handbag. It's supposed to be 50. What is this? Knockoff. This is a knockoff. Oh no, we not pay $5,000, $2,000 for your handbag. We make our own. We make our own. You out your mind. You out your rabbit ass mind. You want, and they gonna go and do it. And then what America do? In Europe do. They try to make it seem, they subterfuge, subversive language and activity, very much deception. Deception can be used for good or bad, really. So they make it seem like they're gonna go after China. They can't go after China. China owns too much shit. America is quiet as it kept. America's in debt with China, and America is like does Europe's dirty work. So Europe is comes to China's knockoff stuff. Okay, go ahead, China. As long as you keep it with your people, hey. And it stops their people in China that want to go out and venture out and go to America and Europe and buy stuff. And, hey, we could buy it here. We could buy it here. Oh, that Louis Vuitton. Okay, yeah, I got Louis Vuitton. See, I got Louis Vuitton. And it's acceptable in a society as the Louis Vuitton, as the Apple iPhone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As the Jordan, Michael Jordan shoes. You know what I'm saying? But it's knockoffs, right? But as long as everybody else see it as, oh, okay, yeah, you got the Jordans, you got the Apple iPhone. Oh, you got Louis Vuitton bag. Okay, as everyone else is seeing it as okay, then it's okay. But as soon as they step outside and go to America with it, Americans examine it. It's like, hey, these ain't Jordans. This ain't the iPhone. This ain't Louis Vuitton. It's knockoff. Like, huh? But then you got some Americans like, shit. Some things look just almost like it's just missing a couple LVs on the purse. You know what I'm saying? How much y'all selling? How much is it? $50, $100 for a Louis Vuitton bag? Damn, that look real. Shit, all right, I'll give you $100 for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what it's all about, man. They ain't gonna do nothing with China. They just make it appear like they're trying to do something. That's what it's all about. Deception. That's what it is. That's what it always come down to, right? Even in politics and economics, the money, having you chase the money. You don't control that money. The hell with the money. So fuck the money. The money is used. They took the whip away, and I swear, me and my look, they took the whip away, and they gave you the money. Took the whip away, put the money in place. The money is used as the whip now. It keeps you in line. My grandfather on my father's side, my dad's father, from what my father told me, he used to work in he used to pick cotton as an extra job, you know what I'm saying? Slavery was abolished by this time, when my grandfather was alive. But he still picked cotton, pick up some extra money. And when he did something wrong, if you did something wrong, they didn't take your money from you, They didn't hit you with no citation or nothing like that until you don't come into work tomorrow, you off for a month or something, or we lay you off or anything like that. They'll whip you. They were still able to hit you. They'll just whip you. Right? They'll whoop you. But now, if you do something bad, what they do? They try to hit you where it hurts, right? In your pockets. Right? You do something wrong to the company, or they let you go, right? They let you go with no pay. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll charge you. Or say that's gonna come out your paycheck. They didn't say that back then. And that wasn't too long ago. This was still like in the 1900s, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's wasn't that long ago. It's just my father's father. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. It's people sick and tired of being sick and tired. And we gotta free up the people first in order to take care of the problems we face. Everybody have basic needs that need to be met. So we need to create these programs and platforms, organizations, these companies that will not only combat and attack the problems we face, but will also provide the basic necessities we need. So it's going to take a little bit more brain power. You know, we're not out here trying to be Superfly and Dynamite and Foxy Brown, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and all that. We're going to have to really use our mind and still go get the money, but turn that money in the way we get the money, the way we create our businesses is also a way where we help each other. You know what I'm saying? And we create that bond of trust and make it even more stronger and stronger and stronger. So we can go out there. We don't have to necessarily shoot the police, but we can tell them, hey, if this keep happening, we're gonna take it as an act of war, and you guys are gonna be hurting economically and politically. So stop it. Because we got power now. You know what I'm saying? That's what power is. It's doing something for your people while still getting the money. Instead of just chasing the money, you have no control power. You create control. You create power with the money, with the resources. You understand? You see what I got? I got a nonprofit organization, For Better Conditions organization. You look at it. I'm using resources that's given to me. I have to make it free. I have to do things where I'm not spending as much money because I'm giving away money. You understand? You got to use the resources that's available to you and make it something. It's just that, it's just that simple. That's power, right? Oh, I might be reliant on the resources, right? On the platforms I use to give the money to the people. But once I create that trust and that bond, a few couple times they get on there, they see that they order it, they get it, and they know they can trust me with it, and they know, oh, okay, yeah, he's trustworthy. He's trustworthy. Give me my 5 stars. Let it be known he's trustworthy. What's gonna happen then? If they cut the platform from under my feet, I'm still me. I can go somewhere else. I could do it straight out of my home. You know what I'm saying? Because people know I'm good for it. You understand me? That's all it is, baby. That's all it is. It's very simple. But you got to sacrifice. You got to be like, fuck the money. It ain't about the money. It's about building trust and loyalty. It's about having integrity. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Our government use the trickery, use deception. The government's supposed to be here for the people, take care of the people, be of service to the people. Instead, they use the programs, platforms, organizations, and companies to take care and service the people. And the government take a back seat. Think about it. Look at Google. Look at Google's relationship with the Obama administration. Look at the gas companies, oil companies, their relationship with government. Microsoft, Bill Gates, and his relationship with government, United Nations, and whatnot. You see what I'm saying? InQtel. InQtel. Look that up. InQtel. IN hyphen Q hyphen TEL. Look that up. They use programs, platforms, organizations, and companies to do the servicing for the people, to dictate what the people want. And the government, it's like computers. The companies, the organizations, they like the computers. They send in algorithms. And the government looks at the algorithms and see, oh dang, a lot of people over here they like this, a lot of people over here they want this, they want that, boom, boom, boom. Okay. And that's what it is. It's a front. So if the real power is creating organizations, platforms, programs, and companies to service the people, then that's what we need to do. That's what needs to be done first, right? Creating programs, platforms, organizations, and companies to service the people first. Then just off of that alone, you could create your own political party with that alone. A lot of people don't know, like, how Donald Trump staying so long with his campaign. He's been in his campaign. He's been campaigning he's been hanging in there because there's a lot of companies. The companies, the ones with the money. And a lot of those companies and organizations, these programs and platforms, they the ones with the money, not the individuals. But they giving their money to the Trump campaign. Not firsthand, giving it to them firsthand, like here, No. They create little they have little organizations they create aside from what they have, you know, like Walmart. Here's Walmart. A Walmart will create another organization with other companies and organizations. Call it something else and create like a backyard barbecue with Kid Rock. And then have Kid Rock out there performing and everybody's paying money, and then they send that money to Trump. You see what I'm saying? They do things like this. I know when they came to Cleveland with the Republican convention, when it came to Cleveland, there was a lot of things going on, and pretty much a lot of fundraising too.